everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today is the first video in my series called Talk About It Tuesday, and I announced that I was going to be doing this series last week and announced our first topic, which is going to be physician-assisted death, which is also commonly known as physician-assisted suicide. So before I get into talking about what it is and giving you guys my opinion, I do want to do a disclaimer that anything and everything said in this video is just my personal view on this topic, and that everyone has the right to their own opinion, and just because this is my opinion doesn't mean that you have to agree with me. You could easily disagree with me, and that is completely fine. However, please do not attack me in the comments telling me that my opinion is wrong and that I shouldn't be thinking this way and stuff like that. Also, I did want to go ahead and mention that next week's topic is going to be on gun control in the United States. So if you guys have any questions that you would like me to answer in that video related to my views on gun control, please leave them in the comments and I will be sure to answer them in that video. Also, I will have a few links regarding physician-assisted death in the description box, just so you guys can explore this topic even more. And without further ado, let's get into actually discussing what this topic is. This is a topic that I have been passionate about ever since I was 16, and I am now 23, almost 24. So over the years, I have learned quite a bit about it and have definitely developed an opinion on it, which we will get into after I tell you about the topic. So basically, for those of you who do not know, physician-assisted death is when a doctor aids a patient in dying. It is simply what it sounds like. And this is commonly done through a lethal injection of a drug, and most of the time it is through morphine, because over time, as you up the dose of morphine, it will eventually stop your heart. And this all started in the late 1990s here in the United States, all because of a doctor named Jack Kevorkian, who is more commonly known as Dr. Death. And specifically, it all started in Michigan. Dr. Kevorkian is most well known for his suicide machine, which was basically a machine he built on his own to help people end their lives. And throughout his career, he aided over 130 patients in their death. And because of this, he was found guilty of murder, and he ended up spending 8 years in jail. However, he was released on good behavior, but his original sentence was for over 10 years. As of June 2018, in the United States, 7 states have legalized physician-assisted death, along with the District of Columbia. Now, something about this is that physician-assisted death is mandated within the state level, which means that the federal government does not have a say in whether it is legal or not. They have made it so it is up to each state. So, when broken down, only 7 out of the 50 states, along with the District of Columbia, have legalized physician-assisted death. Those states are Oregon, California, Colorado, Vermont, Montana, Hawaii, Washington, and then the District of Columbia. I live in the state of Maine, where it is not legal. And here is where I'm going to transition into my view. As a Maine resident, I believe physician-assisted death should be legal. I personally believe it should be legal in all 50 states, and here's why. I believe that anyone who is terminally ill and suffering should be able to choose when their life has come to an end. I believe everyone should have a say in whether they go peacefully or not. If you are in a bed suffering because you have terminal cancer and have been given 6 months or less to live, I believe that it should be your choice whether you would like to have a lethal injection of a high dose of morphine to end your suffering and end your life in a more humane way than having you suffer. I have dealt with this issue personally because when I was 16, I watched my grandmother suffer till her death. I watched her suffer and thrash about in pain because of the cancer that had spread throughout her body. The doctors told us that since the chemo and all the treatments weren't working, we had 6 weeks left with her. However, those 6 weeks were way shorter and it turned into 11 days. And I do have a video on dealing with grief and my story that I will leave up in the iCard as well as in the description box if you guys would like to learn more about that. I go more in depth into my story, and it was a really emotional video for me to film. And so at the age of 16, I literally had to sit in a hospice room with my grandmother, counting how much time was in between each breath, watching her suffer, not being able to verbalize about her pain until her body finally gave up and couldn't take it anymore and she took her last breath. That was back on July 22nd of 2011. However, if physician-assisted death was legal in the state of Maine, my grandmother's suffering would have ended way sooner and she would have actually had a peaceful death, and I honestly believe it would have been more peaceful on our family as well. Now, most of my family members do not agree with my decision. That is mostly because we are Catholic, which the Catholic religion plays a big role in people being opposed to physician-assisted death, because in the Catholic Church, many believe that God is the one in charge of choosing when your life ends, and the act of hastening someone's death is considered a sin. They believe that God only puts you through what you can handle, and so if he puts you through the suffering, he's putting you through it because he knows you can handle it. However, that is 100% not my view. I believe that if you are terminally ill and suffering, you should be able to make the choice for yourself. Another controversy that comes into play here is the Hippocratic Oath. As most of you guys know, I am studying to go into the healthcare field. As a medical professional, you have to take the Hippocratic Oath, and one of the things in the Hippocratic Oath states that you will do no harm to patients. A lot of people believe that physician-assisted death goes against the Hippocratic Oath because you are harming a patient by aiding them in their death. This is another one of those things where I totally and completely disagree with it, and I believe that you are doing more harm on a patient if they are ready to go and they are ready to end their suffering, and you continue to let them suffer. Something that people don't understand about physician-assisted death and why they're so against it is because they think it happens quickly, and that is not the case. With physician-assisted death, you have to meet a certain criteria. You also have to be evaluated by a variety of different doctors and psychiatrists to ensure that you are medically competent to make this decision on your own and that you aren't being persuaded or coerced to do it. And a story that really hits home is the story of Brittany Maynard, who actually ended up having to move to another state where physician-assisted death was legal. She had to go and live there for a year in order to claim legal residency, and finally she was able to end her suffering. I think that it is awful that she had to move states when it could be as easy as having it legal in every state. I will have an article linked to her story down below, and it is definitely something worth reading. Going back to my passion for this topic, I've been given the opportunity multiple times to go up to our state capitol and sit in on hearings regarding this topic, and I've even gone on the floor and given my own opinion. And if you are as passionate about this topic as I am, you can make a difference too. Find out when your state is having hearings, and if you can, make it to those hearings and have your voice and opinion be heard. Another thing is to educate others. So many people are against physician-assisted death because they don't know enough about it. They just think it is simply taking a patient's life, and it's not. It is way more than that. It is about ending someone's life peacefully when they want to, because ultimately they know their life is gonna end. So to wrap up this video, it is my personal belief that physician-assisted death should be legal in all 50 states. It is something that people need to be more educated about, and a topic I am passionate about and really want to raise awareness about. So if any of you guys still have questions regarding this topic, leave them in the comments down below and I will do my best to answer them. Also, be sure to come back next Tuesday to hear about my opinion on gun control in the US. And like I said earlier, if you guys have any questions you would like me to answer in that video about my opinion, leave them in the comments. If you guys like this video and like this new series, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know. While you guys are down there, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see 2 to 3 new videos from me each week and become a member of the Allie Squad. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!